Okay, we're going to talk about saffron. Okay, depending where you are in the world, you might call that saffron, but that, I'm afraid, boys and girls, is turmeric. Turmeric is the yellow component you'll see in most curry powders, and it is often called fake saffron, or it is just used as a substitute for real saffron. And the main reason for that is because saffron is extremely expensive. However, it is very cost effective because you use it in very tiny amounts. There are several caveats when using saffron, and the main one is you've got to check that you're using genuine saffron, but because it's such a valuable commodity, it is very likely that in a lot of places you'll be buying it, you might be buying fake saffron. And fake saffron, it can be faked quite effectively, and to the untrained eye it can be very easy to be fooled. Alright, without wasting any further time, I'm just going to quickly zoom in on this and show you the way I check my saffron. Okay, just to let you know that I buy Kashmiri Saffron from a very reliable source, and I will put that source in the link down below. You must also know that I'm not getting paid for this. I don't get any money from the spice company. I've just found a reliable source, and I think it's right that I tell you the reliable source rather than you have to rely on some of the cheating bastards out there selling you the rubbish. Alright, okay, so Kashmiri Saffron, in my opinion, it's the best saffron you can buy, and you need to check it. Now, the way I do that, I take just a couple of saffron strands and drop them into a little dish like that, and then just top it with a little bit of water. Right, I don't have any cheap saffron as a comparison, but you will see as I shake it, it becomes slightly more yellow, but it doesn't happen all of a sudden. It doesn't happen like an ink blot. It happens subtly and slowly. Alright, now let me just put a couple of strands of saffron down on here, and we can examine the strand in some detail. Let me move that into the centre for you, and let's go in even tighter on that. Okay, let's move this thing rather than move the camera. Let me first explain what saffron is. It's the stigmata of an autumn flowering crocus, and there are only 2 on each crocus, and they are hand picked. So it is the female organ of an autumn flowering crocus, and you will see that it is open at one end, or rather splayed at one end and tapered at the other end. Alright, it is possible to make fake saffron look a lot like this, and the surest way we have of telling is by doing this little test. So as you see, the more it soaks in the water, and I'm only using cold water for this, I'm not using warm water. The more it soaks in the water, it starts to expand and it gets lighter, and it imparts some of its beautiful sunset yellow colour to the water. And you'll see from the comparison now, it gets lighter as it does so, and it starts to expand and grow. And you'll see just from a couple of tiny little strands just exactly how much beautiful sunset yellow we can achieve. Alright. Right, so the next thing, how can we turn our beautiful saffron into something usable? But first of all, let me talk quickly about the fake saffron. Right, you drop fake saffron in water like that, and it will immediately turn into an egg yellow, or red, or orange, or anything except that beautiful, subtle, wonderful saffron colour that you see here. And that's a quick way of spotting it. So how do we make it useful? Right, let me come out again and show you our little trick. Okay, we've got a pestle and mortar, we've got some saffron, and I'm going to tip all that in there. It's about a teaspoon's worth of saffron into there. And I'll take some sugar. You'll notice I only use brown sugar or demerara sugar. I don't like using white sugar. White sugar is white death, so I don't use it. So I'll put that into there, a teaspoon of each, and then I simply just start grinding it up. And you'll see the saffron starts to break up. There you go, like that. And you just keep doing that until you've got a fairly fine powder with some flecks in it. And I'll just put some of that down on the paper so you've got contrast. And so we've taken it from the strands to that. Okay. Now I'm just going to grind that a little bit more because that is a little bit coarse. So the very next thing we do is we add some water to it. And now we've done all the contrasting. Let me take that because I don't like wasting saffron, it's very expensive. Alright. And this is the way to make your saffron last, and the way to make it go. We won't waste that either. That can go in there, it won't hurt, will it? There you go. And put that out your way. And then, just to make sure it's all there, and I order these little sauce bottles online, these plastic sauce bottles. They're all good. I rinse them out first, make sure that's all done. And then I transfer my saffron liquid into the bowl. Sorry, from the bowl into the... And then just to make sure, I do a bit more water. And tip all that out. Now you'll see that makes quite a substantial amount of colour. We've talked about saffron before in one of my other videos when I did saffron rice, and there is also another version of saffron you'll buy which is genuine saffron. It's often marketed as Spanish saffron. And I'm not saying this is exclusive, but I find a lot of it has been doctored, i.e. it's been rinsed, I presume, to take some of this beautiful colour out of it to use in other processes. And then the strands have been dried again. And then packaged in fancy little packages to make you think that it's all posh and proper. And you end up buying rinsed saffron, which is basically saffron that's gone through a process similar to this. And then the strands have been dried out and presented to you as genuine saffron, which is a bloody lie. Right, so now we have saffron that we can use in another process. Oops. If you're going to shake it, put your finger on the top. Don't do like I did. Alright, okay, so this is a warts and all presentation. Okay, so now we have saffron to use in another process. And there you have it. That will keep in the fridge virtually indefinitely, but I promise you, you will be using it if if you make this, you will be using it. There is another process during my saffron rice where I showed you how I mix it with warm milk to extract the colour and to make a Persian style saffron rice. This is more the restaurant style, the quick style, the lazy cook way, and it's probably the method I use more often than not. So there you go, that's saffron water. Oh, don't stop there, Pete, I hear you cry. Alright, let's show you how to use it. Right, let's do a completely lazy cook way of using it. In your supermarket you'll probably find items like this or this, and you know, cooking your own rice and steaming it, waiting all that time, it can be a pain in the neck when it's just as easy to use a 2-minute rice product like this. Well, let's get rid of that one because I want to demonstrate how to get the yellow colour into your rice, and I'll cook this according to the instructions and then I'll get back to you. So here we have it, here's the rice cooked according to the instructions, and I'm going to tip 2/3 to 3/4 of it into a bowl already, and just spread out the rest, and then we'll give it a little squirt, not a lot, little squirt, and mix that in. So you already see how a little tiny bit of the saffron water makes a huge difference to the rice. Let's add a little bit more because we can, and you're still getting that beautiful saffron aroma. Once you start using this product, and I really hope you will, because it is just such a fantastic thing to do. And then what we do is you can either break up your rice and then add your saffron rice to it and on it. That's more like the Persian style. That's kind of how they serve it. And this is true of Persia and parts of the former Persian Empire. Pretty much how their saffron rice looks. You've got the contrast of the white rice and the beautiful, delicately fragranced saffron rice as well. So there you have it, the saffron rice. Typically you would serve this with something like all different types of kebab, shish kebab, any kind of Persian dish really, and if you keep watching on my channel you'll see different ways of serving it. Saffron rice and saffron.